Oh, for 1,000 tongues to sing my great Redeemer's praise, the glories of my God and King, the triumphs of His grace.
Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Wes Magruder of Kessler Park Methodist Church, and as you know, it's that time of year when most churches do a stewardship campaign. And so we've embarked on ours, and this coming Sunday, November the 23rd, is Commitment Sunday, and that's the Sunday in which we wrap up our campaign and we invite people to bring their pledge cards to the altar during a time of commitment. And so we're hoping that you will bring your pledge cards with you to service this week, and if not, there'll be some in the pews. But I want to say just a few words about our stewardship campaign this year because it's different, as you know, as we've said repeatedly on Sunday morning, and you would have received a mailing as well. But we're doing something a little bit different. Bucket Full of Blessings is the name of the campaign, and as opposed to previous years when you were asked to give a pledge and all of the money to that pledge would go into the general fund of the church, this year we are enabling you to give designated giving for three particular areas. And we've identified, we've pulled out of the general budget three of the ministries that we feel at this time the strongest about, that we feel are very important to expand and to improve upon for the future of the church. And those three, as you know, are children's and youth ministries, number one. Number two, music ministry. And number three, something called our Catalyst initiatives, which have come out of the Holy Conversations 1 and 2 discussions. And I will be talking a lot about that this Sunday in the sermon. But I wanted to make it clear again that, first of all, the most important bucket that we're trying to fill is the general fund. And so this is the pledge card for the general fund, and it's red. And on Sunday, the big bucket with the big red heart will be our general fund bucket. And what we do is we're asking you to make a pledge to the general fund. This is kind of the foundation, the core of what supports the church. And even though our budget for 2015 will not be as large as this year's because we've separated them out into separate buckets, it still is important that we fund this general fund. And in fact, we're asking you really, when you think about designating your giving to one of the three other buckets, is to really consider that as an above and beyond gift, as something, maybe you're going to take a step of faith in a new way this year. Or perhaps you feel so strongly about one of these three that you're willing to make a large gift, really feeling as if we do need to step out in faith and do something bold and something big. With our children's and youth ministries bucket, that is the bucket with the rubber ducky on it. The color is pink on the pledge card. And with this bucket, we are going to fund our children's and youth ministries. That will go to pay for the things that they do, the supplies they use. This will go for VBS, and it will go for the salaries of our youth and children's pastor. But we're also planning a big change. In mid-2015, our goal is to hire a full-time children's minister. That's going to be really big and really different and really new. But we need to fill the bucket first. The second initiative, as you know, is the music ministry. And once again, this is the purple bucket with the music notes, very clear, ought to be very clear what this is going to. This also is going to help support all of our music ministries, from our children's choir to our bell choir to chancel choir. And this year we want to bring in the Credo budget into the budget of the church and make it something that we as a church are officially supporting and sustaining. And that includes Jonathan's salary. This includes the salaries of Danny Harp as our keyboardist. This will support all of our music ministries, including the Dallas Street Choir. And as you know, if you heard the testimonies of the three participants in the Dallas Street Choir last Sunday, you'll know that it's a powerful ministry that is just now beginning to really make a big impact. And the sky's the limit there. And the third is what we call the Catalyst initiatives. This is the blue bucket with the star. You're going to hear more about that, but in a brief, we're going to be sponsoring a series of events in 2015, a series of conferences along the lines of a TED Talk where we'll have a number of speakers who will give their big ideas related to given topics that are of concern in the Oak Cliff community and neighborhood. Social justice issues, social justice conversations that need to be taking place among activists and entrepreneurs and business people and people of faith. And we want to be a place that hosts those gatherings and become known as the gathering place where people of like minds can come together in community and be a catalyst for change, a change for something great and something good. We also want to be known as a place of creativity and innovation. And to that end, we have as a goal starting a one-year fellowship for people who have a creative or innovative idea in ministry. This position will be called Catalyst Pastor. We'd give them an office. I would provide mentorship to them, and for 1 year they would office out of this church and be able to pursue their particular call to ministry, whatever that ministry looks like. So it's a very exciting idea. Once again, though, we have to fill the bucket before we can do that. My genuine hope and desire is that each one of you take the time to pray about and ask God's guidance about your pledge for 2015. Ask God, where do you want me to put my money? How do you want to use my gift and my giving? You'll see on the pledge cards, it's not just about money. There is a chance for you to give of your time, to give of your participation, your involvement. Maybe you can't afford to give money this year, but the pledge card asks so much more. It asks for you to give of your time and to give of your talents. That's what this is about. We're going to use these pledge cards to help us see where God is leading us as a church. We honestly, those of us in leadership, believe that children and youth, music, and the Catalyst initiatives are a really integral part of the church as it is now and the church that we are called to be. And we will see the verification of that after this pledge campaign. One more note that I'd like to close on, and that is to ask you to prayerfully consider also giving above and beyond the rest of this year. Many of you may know that we are in a deficit. We are running a deficit. Now, we usually do at this time of year. We have this historic pattern of being okay in the spring and then during the summer falling into a deficit and then making it up just at the nick of time at the end of December as people get their last gifts in and as they catch up on their pledges. But our deficit is bigger than it has been in previous years. And so the Finance Committee are a little bit concerned. And so I just simply ask, if you have something extra to give before the end of the year, please consider giving it to Kessler Park United Methodist Church. If you're behind on your pledge, please consider catching up as soon as possible. I thank you very much for your faithfulness to this church. You're faithful in so many ways. I notice it, the staff notices it, and we are all appreciative. And I look forward to 2015. I can't wait to see what God is going to do with us and in us. Shalom to you.